Alright, so today's video we're going to talk about calculations within Python. Just some simple math stuff. We're going to kind of reinforce also inputs and things like that. So in this one we're going to take an input from a user. So we'll just call this num. It could be A, it could be B, it could be anything we want it to be. And then we're going to do an input. And then we're going to say please enter a number. Okay, so one other thing, as we talked about in the past, so input initially is defaulted to text. So if we just use this, it's going to read it as text and it won't do any calculations. So what we're going to do is we're going to use integer, okay? And this will be just a whole number that it'll use, and the user can then enter that number over here. And if we run this code just to practice that, you know, going to enter 5, and then it would do something with it. And if we wanted to, we'll go ahead and print that off, and we'll say that we're going to print num, just to make sure that what we got going on here. If we say 5, we hit enter, and there's our 5. Okay, so now what we're going to do is do some calculations with this. So we can take this number that we have entered here, and we could do anything that we want to it. Let's say we're going to subtract 1 from that number, and if we did that, we're going to go ahead and run. And we're going to say 5, and we subtracted 1 from that, so now it becomes 4. Okay, so now we'll do a couple other calculations with it. Let's say that we're going to do num again, and we're going to multiply that by 2. Okay, simple math, right? So it's going to take num, it's going to subtract 1 from it, and then the other one's going to take that same num, and it's going to multiply it by 2. So let's just see what that looks like. We'll use the same number. We'll use 5 again. And there's 4, and then there's 10. Now notice in these calculations right here, this is 4. This did not change the number that is num. Num is still 5, and it has not changed at all. We'll get into how that works within Python and within most programming languages. So num has not changed at all. Okay. And then we took 5, and then we multiplied it by 2, and that became 10. All right, so let's do another calculation. Let's go ahead and we'll do print, and we'll do plus, or we'll take num, and now we'll add 5 to it. And so we're going to run that code again, and we're going to say 5, and then we'll print those off. 4, 10. Actually, that's pretty poor use. Let's do something else, or let's do 3. Now let's run that again. We'll do 5, hit enter. And so we took 5 and we subtracted 1 from it, so it became 4. Num is still 5 here. We multiplied it by 2. That became 10. And then num here, we're going to add 3 to that. And so that 5 that we entered up here, we're going to add 3 to it, and it becomes 8. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do division. Okay, so we're going to run the code. We'll say 5, and then there's 4, right? We subtracted 1 from it. Now we multiplied it by 2, and it became 10. We added 3 to that 5, it became 8, and then this one we divided this. Okay, now there is a couple more different types of divisions. This is just a straight division, so it has a 2.5. We'll talk more about that as how the Python language deals with data types and things like that. But that's for another video. So this is how you use calculations within Python. Pretty simple. It did not change the value of num. We just did simple calculations and how we could work that number and change those values right here, or display them. Num didn't change. Hopefully that helps, and good luck on your coding journey.